All right, all right, all right. So let's hop right into it. Catch fam, rolling with uh, some live fantasy Q&A, man, and I'm going to be playing some Madden 21 tonight. I do not have Madden 22 downloaded because I was boycotting the game. But nonetheless, man, I did go ahead and buy Madden 22. I am no longer boycotting the game. So we will, play some Madden 22 whenever it does download to my Xbox. But for now, we'll roll with Madden 21. Here's the last game I was playing on here. Don't know what that is. Apparently, it was a franchise mode, though. So I'm going to start a new franchise. My co-host and my co-host Steven and myself have always been like heavy franchise guys. So and I do love, if I'm going to play Madden, I'm definitely rolling with uh, franchise mode all the way, man. It's just my preference, right? But nonetheless, man, I'm super stoked for this. And yeah, man, uh, I would definitely want to do some fantasy Q&A. So if you guys are hopping on and you have any questions about your upcoming lineups, about week one, whatever it may be, hit me up in the live chat. I know it's a little late, but this is really the earliest I could get on for the day. So as always, man, appreciate all the love and support on the channel. And yeah, let's hop into it, guys. I don't know what team I want to be. I mean, like I said, this is Madden 21, so obviously it's going to be a little bit different. I'm trying to think of a good team I can be that doesn't really have, or is really similar to what we will be seeing here in the upcoming football season. But uh, nonetheless, man, I kind of want to be the Niners. I've never really played with them like that in Madden before, but I kind of like playing with bad teams overall. So it's also been a minute since I played. I mean, my Xbox I thought was broken. It was not turning on for a really long time, and I just left it unplugged for like almost 2 months now. And I was actually gonna hop on here and try and set up some old school Madden through my PlayStation, and I was like, you know what the hell? I'll go ahead and plug in my Xbox and see if it's going to work. And it worked. So here we are. And I think I'm going to roll with the Washington football team. And yeah, man, let's see. We don't need to do. Let's set up the starting point here. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's starting us from the preseason. I'm definitely going to be turning injuries off as well. But yeah, if you guys are hopping in here, go ahead and smash that like button, baby, and get some fantasy Q and A rolling. I just got to send one text, and should be good, man. So like I said, I'll probably actually be doing a little bit of this tomorrow too while we have some real NFL action going on as well. So let's see. I'm going to turn pre-existing injury and injury off until we actually start the season. But other than that, let's roll with it. Let's roll with the Washington football team. Why not? And I'll probably go out and trade for like a dope quarterback or something. And other than that, this team is relatively similar overall from where they're at this year. So nonetheless, let's just kind of want to. I need to change. Let's see if I can't change the size of my face here. And I feel like it's going to be better if I am down in the corner where I am not messing up or blocking anything. So there we go. Okay, that helps everything. All right. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and check out this team real quick. And our co-host Steven is in the chat saying, dude, EA makes the best games. I mean, they've actually made some decent games throughout the years. I mean, they made like the original James Bond games, but that's really all that comes to mind for me. So shout out to EA for making the old school James Bond games. We really appreciate that. And we appreciate all the hard work you guys put into Madden year after year. I mean, it's really paying off. So thank you, EA, the Madden community. We just love you guys. So looks like I don't have a fullback on my team, man. Are you kidding me? I've got Scary Terry. So that's all that matters. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to roll with whoever's on this team, and I'm going to trade Dwayne Haskins. Other than that, I'm going to roll with whoever. God, I got a lot of cap room. Let's go. All right, so let's get rid of Dwayne Haskins first of all, because I'm going to trade him to the Steelers, though. I want to see. No, they got moderate interest. Let's see who we can get for Dwayne. Let's try and get safety. Why not? Oh, let's add Minka to this team. I don't care what we got to trade. Let's trade Dwayne, and let's trade our first round pick, and let's take him. Nice. It's always been super hard to trade for players in Madden, and I'm being sarcastic. You can basically get whoever the fuck you want at any time. Okay, so now we have. I'm going to keep Alex Smith on this team. And now I got to consider the opposite, right? I got to get an actual quarterback for this squad. Let's get rid of AP and try and give him to a good team. Let's keep all these receivers. They're all pretty decent. Ooh, we need a tight end on this squad too. If you guys are hopping in here, man, go ahead and throw any fantasy Q&A my way while we're messing around with this new Washington football team roster. Oh, yeah, we got Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Let's get it. Okay, so I got to think of someone who I can realistically get rid of to get us a decent quarterback. Wow, our linebackers are pretty weak. But outside of that, then I'll just roll with whomever is on this team. And of course, other than Mika Fitzpatrick. So our safety, I don't know why I traded for a safety. Our safeties are pretty fucking loaded right now. So let's just see if we can get a dope quarterback for Adrian Peterson. Ooh, I don't know if anyone. Let's put another player in here just to see if we're picking up any interest. But I still gotta think of someone I can actually get rid of that could garner some actual trade interest. Although, like I said, it's not that difficult to garner trade interest in Madden historically. So definitely don't want to get rid of any of our line. Oh, we got a lot of defensive defensive tackles. Excuse me. So. Man, I really like Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. I kind of wanted to get rid of Matthew. Well, I don't know how to say Matthew's last name. That's pretty sad. I'm not even going to try. But that's probably good enough reason to try and get rid of him. And, man, I want Ryan Tannehill on this squad. I'm trying to think of like a realistic quarterback we could add here that's not going to shake things up like too much and put us in the fantasy world that we already are in. Being that we're playing Madden 21, but I'm also trying to think of just a fun quarterback to play with that, man, can I get, I want to get Philip Rivers on this squad. I'm going to do it for Steven. You think we can win a Super Bowl with Philip Rivers? Look at him. I mean, he looks ready, you know what I'm saying? But we don't need to trade all of this for Philip Rivers. But if we can get, we could get the Brisket on the team. We could just play with Jacoby Brisket. But if we can just get like another decent player, let me see. We could probably use a corner or a linebacker, honestly. You guys think I can steal Darius Leonard? Let's see what happens here. Are you kidding me? Okay. All right, now we're set up for success, but we got a lot of cap room. I'm going to hop into the free agents very quickly. Yeah, I want Logan Ryan on this team. Why not? Okay, I don't need all this, Madden. Yeah, I want Delaney Walker. All right. I mean, that should be a pretty good. Oh, we could add call. Wow, what is up with his background? Okay, whatever. Man, I want to keep Talib on this team. This is my problem with Madden is I just want to sign every free agent possible. How did that trade work? I don't know, man. Probably because it's Madden. I mean, do we need to say anything else? Why is Darius Geis not on my team? Darius Geis is dirty in this game, man. I do want to sign a receiver or two. Let's see. Allen Robinson versus Rams or Chark versus Houston. I mean, being that uh, my co-host Steven is asking me that question, I don't know if I'm supposed to really answer because I am playing you this week. I mean, honestly, I would start DJ Chark if you're really asking me, Steven. But I think, to be completely honest, I really don't want to start any wide receiver number ones versus Jalen Ramsey this year. But at the same time, the draft capital that you put into selecting your receiver number one is pretty substantial. So, and regardless of who they're facing, I mean, even if it's the best corner in the league, they still have a chance to score, right? Because of the way that they're utilized within the offense. So it's a really tough call overall, but I would be really scared to start anyone versus Jalen Ramsey. I mean, that's the big thing we talked about in the offseason and in the preseason in regards to DK Metcalf, someone who I've been super high on all offseason, preseason, right? He played like shit against Jalen Ramsey. So it's hard to say, man. I just hope whoever you do start has a really bad game because I am playing you. So let's go ahead and sim to the regular season, or else I will sign every free agent available. I already feel like I should just be playing like Madden 05. I have like every Madden behind me on the shelf. Uh, in the first YouTube channel I ever started, I was going to do like an entire documentary series on Madden as a whole, and I just never did it. It never came to fruition. So maybe that's something in the future that we can do. Maybe on this channel, or maybe something similar on this channel. And whenever I get the logistics down, we definitely want Steven to hop into some of these Madden live streams as well as. I mean, everyone wants to see me beat Steven in Madden, first of all, but second of all, it'd just be a lot of fun for everyone as a whole as well. And get Steven's perspective on some of these fantasy Q&A if anyone shows up tonight or shows up in the future. I mean, realistically, I should have. Oh man, it's signed. All right, of course it released JJ Nelson. Come on, man. I probably should have put this out there. That this live stream was going to happen tonight, but I did not. And so I understand if we don't get a lot of people in here tonight, but nonetheless, I'm definitely going to play at least one or two games of Madden and see if we get anyone rolling in here. And if not, I'll probably just go over my roster, a little bit in depth. I know I've gone over it, in some of these videos here, in the past day or so, but I've still got, some speculation around my roster. I don't know. I mean, amongst all three rosters that I'm managing, right, including the Catch Fams roster, but uh, I've got some tough calls in my 20-man league, and I'm still kind of torn about at least Chenault Jr. facing Steven, and I just don't know, man. I've got Corey Davis on the bench, right, and I think Corey Davis is probably going to have a really good game from a PPR standpoint, but I'm also scared that he's not going to play well against that revamped Carolina Panthers secondary. So it's a hard call, but I'll probably just start Chenault Jr. if I'm being completely honest. So um, I just want to check and see what type of offensive firepower we can add to the squad. We can re-sign AP. We can add the stash himself, Giovanni Bernard. We could go ahead and get Rex Burkhead here. I kind of want. I just want like a speedster back. I mean, I guess Shady McCoy, he's only 88 speed. Okay, well, never mind. Who is the fastest? DeAndre Washington. Taylon Jones is pretty. Oh, he's a 92. Trenton Cannon. I don't know who that is, so we're not going to sign him. Man, CJ Prosize. Wow, this dude is really fast. I have not played Madden in quite some time, and I'm already regretting it because I used to have so many go-to players. I mean, I played a lot of Madden last year, and I don't know. We'll just roll with the RBs already on this squad, and I do want to see. I want the fastest receiver I can find. Paul Richardson Jr. is a 93, but who? Wow, Robert Foster's a 95. As dude, Jakeem Grant. Jakeem Grant might be my guy. I really like having Jakeem Grant in Madden. Yeah, let's roll with it. I want a speedster on my Madden squad at all times. And the other thing I want is I want 2 tight ends. And right now we're lacking. Oh, yeah. We could add Jason Witten. We could add Cameron Brate. Darren Fells in here. Not a bad option either. But, I mean, I don't know. These guys aren't very exciting. Let's add Jason Witten. Why not? I mean, you saw how excited I got when he popped up on the screen. So let's get Jason Witten on the squad. And I mean, our linebackers are still pretty weak, right? I don't know if any of these guys are really worth signing. Brooks Reed is pretty high up there. Bruce Irvin's pretty good in this game. We'll just add him for some depth. All right, and that should do it. We should hop into this game now that we've spent 15 minutes. I mean, you got to spend some time. It's going to make me release a player or 3 players. So we'll do that, and then we'll get fucking rolling here, guys. So really no reason to keep Kyle Allen on this squad. Did I go to depth chart or roster? I did go to roster. Why didn't it let me release him? And you know what? A better idea is I should trade these guys and just get like a 5th round draft pick for him. So let's see. Gosh, how much was I? Gosh, dude, Alex. Paying Alex Smith a fortune. But I like Alex Smith, so we're keeping him on this team. Yeah, we're going to roll with J.D. McKissick. Antonio Gibson's a 69. Nah, dude, I'm going to play with a lot of Antonio Gibson. Wow, these receivers are... But what is up with these receivers? Antonio Gandy Golden's off the team, and we should probably get rid of a tight end as well. Then I might get rid of another player and I might get rid of like 2 players and get a couple receivers on this squad as well. So I don't know, man. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my own rosters as well and just kind of be going, picking some conversation based off of those as well. Let's see if we can't get a 5th rounder. All right, let's do it. Like I said, we got a 5th rounder. But yeah, I'm going to pull up my rosters and try and see, if I can't get some brainstorming going for my fantasy rosters this week. So I'm going to double check. I know I already said I was done looking at the free agents, but yeah, I do want at least one more receiver that I can rely on. I mean, Randall Cobb would be kind of interesting, but I like Paul Richardson Jr. and Ted Ginn Jr. in this game a lot. Robert Foster is another guy I like. I mean, I just like fast receivers, but I also like receivers that I can actually trust, right? So I don't know if I could. Wow, Tim Patrick got cut, man. Are you kidding me? It's funny to see like retrospectively like different Madden ratings like that, right? Even though some of these guys turn out to be really good, like Antonio Gibson on this team as well, right? But let's add Taylor Gabriel. I mean, I want some good receivers, right? I want to get Randall Cobb another Super Bowl ring before he abandons us to join Aaron Rodgers. And that should do it. I mean, that's a pretty good squad right there. I'm really pissed that I released J.J. Nelson, and now I don't see him I guess he's a 69. He might be. Oh. We're adding JJ to the squad, man. Let's do it. Damian Harris versus Dolphins or Cortland Sutton versus Giants, PPR. Is that in our league, Steven? I don't think it is. I mean, if you're asking me, I would roll with Cortland Sutton there because I do think that the Giants secondary is actually it's a little bit better than most people realize. Um, yeah, no, not in our league. Okay, then I can help you, Steven. But man, listen, the Giants are awful, and I honestly think that they can be one of the worst teams in the entire National Football League this season. So I think that not Allen Robinson, Cortland Sutton is going to have a good game from a PPR standpoint. I mean, as long as he's healthy, right? And I mean, I think that at this point, we haven't heard anything negative coming out about him. Shout out to our boy, Greg Stroman on our Washington football team roster here in Madden. He actually went to mine and Steven's opposing high school and is much more successful than both of us. So shout out to you, Greg. But yeah, I would definitely start Cortland Sutton. I mean, I don't know why, but I'm kind of scared about Damian Harris overall. Uh, I just am scared of the Patriots running backs from a hole. Like I know in my 20-man league, I went out and got Ramondre Stevenson. Um, and I do like his value, although he dislocated his thumb, of course, this past uh, week. But I have a bad feeling about starting Damian Harris, and I don't know why. I mean, I like Miami's defense a lot, right? Uh, but overall, I would probably roll with Cortland Sutton there, as I think he's going to have a lot of good opportunities, as I think that even if the Broncos start to beat up on the Giants a little bit, I do believe that they're going to try and stay pretty relevant throughout that game script. So um, I like that start over Damian Harris. But don't get me wrong, I do think that Damian Harris could have a pretty good game as well. So I just think that we're probably going to end up seeing some sort of committee approach out of the Patriots, and it scares me, to be honest. And I think that historically, Bill Belichick likes to screw us over in terms of fantasy. I need to go turn injuries back on, and then we'll hop into this game because if I don't play with injuries on, I'm going to be made fun of by my co-host Steven. So let's go turn those on, and the skill level is all Madden, if anyone is wondering. So we'll see how I play in this game, man. It's been a minute since I've played. And let's do it. Playing the Fly Eagles Fly today, so that's exciting. So yeah, that was one of my questions on the Catch Fam official roster was should we start Jalen Hurts versus the Falcons as it's going to be a pass-heavy game, man. I mean, I think it's going to be a run-heavy and a pass-heavy game. I think it's just going to be like a high-scoring game overall, right? I think a lot of people have that view, right? But I mean, we've got Patty Mahomes in the Catch Fam official league, and I just don't think we can sit him. I mean, even against the Browns, I kind of view that game, in my opinion, the Browns and Chiefs. I think it's going to have a lot of similarities to what we saw out of Dallas and Tampa Bay this past Thursday, to where I mean, there's some good defenses involved, right? But I don't think it's going to matter. I think both these teams are just going to come out and throw the ball all over the place, right? So, oh man, I'm kind of excited about this Madden game as I take a sip of water at the wrong time. All right, so but yeah, man, I'm really excited for that Browns and Chiefs game overall. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. And Philip Rivers is on this team. I was just looking at my quarterback, like, who is that? I already forgot that we added Philip Rivers. So, wow. This is going to be a really interesting roster. So let's see if we can't get our running backs involved a little bit here. Why not? So my absolute favorite start of the week at the moment. Oh man, I didn't change my playbook to the Packers playbook. So I'm definitely in for an interesting game here. But yeah, man, my absolute favorite fantasy start at the moment has got to be Lamar Jackson versus the Raiders. I think he is going to just be absolutely dominant this weekend. And I was texting Steven about it earlier. The only other scenario I see is Lamar coming out and like tearing his ACL, because everyone else who runs football on that team has been getting some sort of knee injury. So I certainly hope that's not the case, but I don't see anything else. Oh no. Oh, come on, man. Was that Trey Quinn? All right, we're going for it. Yeah, I don't really see any in between there overall, but let's hope that Lamar doesn't have anything bad happen to him. Certainly don't wish that by any means, but man, I think Lamar could put up like a total of 4 or 5 touchdowns pretty easily. You know, against that Raider. I mean, man, I can't even name a single player. What kind of throw was that, Phil? Come on, man. I really can't name a single player. Oh man, we just gave Carson the ball at like the 29-yard line. Yeah, I can't think of any players on the Raiders secondary. That's what I was trying to say there. Sorry, guys. But man, do we have a dominant front seven on this Madden team. Let's go. Oh man. I don't know if the gameplay looks normal to you guys, but it's a little choppy for me. I haven't like live streamed Xbox gameplay before or anything, but on my screen here, my monitor, right, it's a little choppy, and I just left Zach Ertz wide open. How is that not a fumble, man? But yeah, I'm super excited about starting Lamar Jackson this week. That's pretty locked in for me, of course, as I don't have any other QBs on my roster, right? But I feel really confident with that, decision, of course. And I mean, that's why we went out and we got Lamar. We're going to feel pretty confident week in and week out for the most part. But yeah, really nothing else to say about that, except I got to wait all the way until Monday to see how that showdown goes down. And I think Lamar could certainly put on a Monday night show, so to speak, right? So, oh wow, Chase Young's not even superstar. Come on. So moving on, I mean, I've got, and this is, I'm just kind of going through my 12-man roster, right? So I feel great about Lamar Jackson as my starting QB. And then I've got Christian McCaffrey as my first RB. And my first RB spot, right? And I've got him versus the Jets. I mean, I feel, of course, really good about that. I mean, I think the Jets could be improved defensively overall. I mean, they definitely have a defensive-minded coach now, of course, right? And I mean, I think that front seven is probably where we could potentially see some improvement, right? But nonetheless, man, I mean, Christian McCaffrey is going to have a monster game. He's going to, come out here coming back from injury and really has probably a lot to prove. And we all know what he's capable of. And regardless of, potentially this front seven being able to step up, we do know that Sam Darnold is going to be, taking a lot of check down passes to that of Christian McCaffrey, and he'll definitely be involved in the passing game. So feel super confident about Christian McCaffrey, and I'm really excited to see him, come back from that injury and just dominate the league again. And wow, what a catch by Trey Quinn there. So I got to change up. Let's change up this. Well, I don't know if it's going to matter because I don't have my normal playbook, but usually I'd actually want my number one receiver list or, in the number 2 spot. But we'll just roll with this random playbook. But we got to find a way to get Scary Terry involved here, as I actually really hate passing to the receiver one, typically all the way out there on the left, is just not how I roll. And there's a big game by Delaney Walker, the veteran, right? But yeah, man. So I feel great about Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey. I mean, between the two of those guys, I could see, at least 40 points, right? So I think they're both going to have very, very good games. And I think that a lot of people think that they're both going to have very, very good games, right? I mean, those are obviously two must starts, right? So I feel like I'm going to put a whooping up on Steven just between those two guys. So moving on, I've got David Montgomery as my RB2. And I feel good about this matchup because, the matchup's awful, right? He's against the Rams. But I do believe that the Bears aren't going to have any other answer other than to run the football in this game. I mean, I think offensively they'll be able to move the ball somewhat down the field with Andy Dalton, right? But overall, man, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, this Rams defense is elite, right? And I've got them starting in this league as well, so I want them to play well. But they can still play very well and cause turnovers without, stopping. We got to throw that away without stopping David Montgomery from scoring. So, if anything, I'd like to see David Montgomery get in the end zone and have a lot of yards from scrimmage overall, and then see the Rams defense cause some turnovers that are not tied to that of David Montgomery. So. I think that Montgomery is still a good start due to volume, and this has been my guy all offseason and all preseason. Oh my gosh, that was an awful play. Did I just lose yards? Man, I'm telling you, I need the Packers playbook. This is going to cause a lot of problems in my first Madden live stream ever, but we'll survive, right? It's all good. So, oh man, yeah, this is going to be a tough play right here. But yeah, let me know, even if you're watching this retrospectively, right? Let me know how you guys feel. Oh, come on, Trey. Oh, who got injured? Man, are you kidding me? Ooh, I don't know if I can kick a 54-yard field goal, to be honest, man. I don't know if I could kick like a 30-yard field goal, so we'll go for it here. But yeah, I think you have to start David Montgomery. So obviously we started Antonio Brown, which I released my must-start wide receivers for week one, and I released it. I just got, oh my gosh, Delaney Walker, how did you drop that, man? So I released it too late, right? And I apologize for that, guys. Just got lost in the content, right? Lost in the sauce, and yeah, I should have released that week one must start earlier before Thursday night. I mean, it's been a really busy week, so I apologize, guys. But one of my must starts was Antonio Brown, who I did start against Steven. And AB went absolutely off. He was looking like, our typical AB that we're used to. So that was a lot of fun to see. And I think that him and Brady have. Uh, Always had some chemistry. They've always sort of wanted to play with one another, right? But we saw some really good chemistry between those guys. And we really saw Mike Evans come out and play more like a decoy almost, just taking certain parts of that defense off of the field and, just focused on him so some of these other guys could get loose. And, excuse me, we saw Chris Godwin play phenomenal as well, who Steven had against me, and he also had Brady. So it's like a lot of those points just ended up negating each other, right? But overall, I'm happy to see Chris Godwin come out and play well, and Brady, and Gronk, and AB. But nonetheless, definitely happy that we had Antonio Brown starting. And like I said, I wish I got that must start, receivers out to you guys earlier, so I could have got that recommendation. But you guys know that I've been high on drafting Antonio Brown all offseason and preseason. This has been a guy that we've really targeted due to the running back heavy strategy, right? And I'm really happy to see that that's paid off, especially with how running back heavy we went in my 12-man league, which is really my primary fantasy league. So Really happy to see Antonio Brown. And Steven is bombarding me with another question here. So, Bills versus Steelers or Chargers versus the Washington football team? Uh, I don't know if I really want to start, a defensive team against the Steelers, man. Uh, I think the Steelers team overall and even offensively is going to be better than a lot of people are thinking. I mean, I get it. They played pretty poorly towards the end of the year last year, but they were still 11-0 at a point last year. And I mean, Ben Roethlisberger wasn't great by any means last year, but he was still pretty good. And there's still a lot of offensive firepower on this team. And we look at, uh, the new running back addition of Najee Harris. I think Najee Harris, of course, is going to have a fantastic, fantastic rookie year. When you look at the tight ends, right, we got Eric Ebron and my dude Pat F hanging in there as well. And outside of that, this receiver room is absolutely filthy, and they've got a pretty decent offensive line. And to add, to matters as well, this defense is absolutely loaded from top to bottom. So uh, I do believe that they're going to be a good team overall. And man, I'm not a fan of the Bills' defense at all. And I don't know if you're clarify for me, Steven. Are you asking start the Steelers defense versus the Bills and the Washington football team versus the Chargers, or vice versa? Because I don't really like the Bills' defense at all. If I'm being honest, I don't really think they proved anything last year that would make me want to start them from a fantasy option outside of streaming against really poor offenses, right? But with that being said, as much as I like Ryan Fitzmagic, right, uh, he is still very capable of throwing some interceptions. So I would rather start the Chargers defense versus the Washington football team, although I do believe that the Washington football team is going to play relatively well overall. Um, I could definitely see some turnovers happening in this game or in that game as well. So, and I would rather take a chance on the Chargers defense overall as opposed to the Bills defense. So that would be my say in that matter overall. So going back to our fantasy roster that we're continuing to break down here. Uh, Next up on my list is Chenault Jr. And man, I was talking to my coworker about this today at work, just how much it's bothering me that I did not draft Amari Cooper over that of, oh gosh, I just got intercepted. I'm probably going to get blown out. And I know it sounds like a lousy excuse, but I'm really bad at this game and I don't have the right playbook. And I don't have the right playbook. So I'm probably going to get trashed in this game and get blown out. But nonetheless, man, yeah, I can't believe that. And I mean, this happens every year in fantasy. I feel like we always retrospectively have that one or two draft picks that just absolutely haunt us. But the fact that I could have picked Amari Cooper, who went ballistic and on Thursday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I mean, not only did he have a really big fantasy game, but go back and watch some of those catches that Amari Cooper had, man. I mean, he looked dominant. Like, he looked like he could catch anything thrown to him in the red zone. And those touchdowns were no joke. So, yeah, it's tearing me up inside that I passed on Amari Cooper and I took more running back depth and chose Gus the Bus, who got injured less than 24 hours after I drafted him. So, nonetheless, man, bringing myself to my receiver number 2, who could be Amari Cooper, right? I've got Chenault Jr. Against Houston in there because I really feel like he's going to have at least one score. But the other options would be Corey Davis at Carolina or Terrace Marshall Jr. at the New York Jets. I mean, I've also got Henry Ruggs versus Baltimore, which even with Marcus Peters going down, I don't like that matchup. And I really have Henry Ruggs on this team to potentially see if he breaks out as the receiver one. I'd rather monitor that situation if anything. But I mean, really, the other option I would consider here would definitely be that of Corey Davis, and I'm going pretty back and forth on this one as they both play at 1 p.m. Right, I like Terrace Marshall Jr. a lot, and I could actually see him having a really good week one. But once again, I would rather monitor that situation, as Steven says, go Wentz. And yeah, man, I mean, I can't really blame you for rooting for them or the Eagles in this Madden matchup. As, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to absolutely get blown out. Come on, Scary Terry. What kind of pass was that, Phil? Man, I really need the right playbook or yeah, this game's going to be really tough. And also the way I have this set up, I need to tweak this because this is appearing very, very small. Come on, baby, let's go. Trey Quinn is like my go-to player. Look at these stats: 6 for 13, 49 yards, and a pick by Phillip Rivers. Oh man, we got to take a timeout. But yeah, man, I think that Chenault Jr. I mean, as good as DJ Chark and Marvin Jones are going to be, and as many targets as I think they're both going to get in this game, I just got that feeling about Chenault Jr. I really think some of that chemistry we saw in the preseason, although he had great, or Trevor Lawrence had great chemistry with that of, with that of Marvin Jones, right? He showed, in my opinion, a unique. Oh my God! Okay, I thought that was an interception. At least in the red zone, a unique connection with that of Chenault Jr., right? But DJ Chark wasn't out there on the field as well, so it's really tough to say. But I really want to start Chenault Jr. because I have a gut feeling that he's going to get in the end zone. And I mean, even if he only does once, then it's still a pretty good overall start. Let's go, Delaney Walker. I was about to say he might not get there, but that's where I'm kind of sitting right now in my wide receiver 2 spot, is still rolling with Chenault Jr. I think it's just the best start, but I'm really torn because I think Corey Davis, from a PPR standpoint, could have a phenomenal game as well. I don't know if I'm going to make this field or this extra point. Okay, I did. All right, man, we're right back in this game. Just took a while to warm up with this knockoff playbook I've got here. Oh, that was a bad kick. But okay, at the tight end position, I've got Mike Gesicki, a guy I talked about all off season. Like, I think I talked about Mike Gesicki more than any other player on this channel, outside of like Jerry Jeudy, maybe, right? But nonetheless, man, I like this start of Gesicki at the New England Patriots. I mean, I think the Pats are going to be much better defensively than they were last year, and I mean, I still consider that a pretty tough matchup overall. But I like Gesicki, especially with us knowing that Will Fuller's not out there. And I mean, Devontae Parker's been kind of banged up, but I think he'll be fine and come out and play like the veteran he is. But we're going to see Jalen Waddle, in his first NFL action, which I certainly think, he could definitely go off in that first NFL action. But I like Gesicki. He showed some really good preseason with my guy Tua. Or some really good chemistry in the preseason, right? And I think that he's going to garner a lot of targets overall. But nonetheless, man, I mean, I still think it's a relatively difficult matchup against the Pats. Was that a catch? Are you kidding me? How are they calling that a catch? But so I'm pretty confident at the tight end position. I still have to drop Gus Edwards. That's one thing I want to mention about this roster that I haven't brought up. I actually don't have a waiver. Oh, wow. Who was that? Why don't I know who number 13 is on Godwin? Oh, Marquise Godwin, right? Steven, if you're in here, let me know who that is on the Eagles. But yeah, man, I'm kind of waiting to see how week 1 shapes out. There's a lot of players on the waiver wire available right now that I like. And did they just run out of time? I think they did. Okay, good. And there's a lot of good quarterbacks who could definitely go out and add some depth at quarterback behind Lamar Jackson. And there's a lot of kind of iffy skill position guys as well. But I want to see how overall, week one goes. Wow, I just kicked that out of bounds. Before I make a waiver wire addition or a waiver wire claim, because that will give me, the advantage of being a little bit higher overall in those waiver wire rankings. And we don't really know what's going to happen come tomorrow. So I'd like to kind of just hold off and know that I can add a player at, my own, will, right? Because we are going to drop Chris Godwin, or not Chris Godwin. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, it's getting late. Been a long one. I did work today. I'm sorry, but yeah, we are going to drop Gus Edwards. Excuse me, and yeah, it's just nice knowing that. I mean, it's not nice knowing that I went out and drafted Gus Edwards and he got injured less than 24 hours later. But it is nice knowing that we can go out and pick up a waiver wire addition at our own free will. So outside of that, let's move into my flex spot on this fantasy roster for my 12 team. Oh, come on, man. Make the tackle. Make the tackle. So I've got James Robinson versus Houston in my flex spot. And listen, man, if Antonio Brown can keep producing and I can get one of these other receivers to step up or find a diamond in the rough waiver wire addition at the receiver position, I mean, I think this team that I've drafted is going to be absolutely gnarly, especially if James Robinson and David Montgomery, who I have so much faith in, reward me for recommending them both on this channel throughout the whole season. As Steven says, the receiver on the Eagles he thinks is this dude from Georgia named Terry Godwin. It said Godwin, so you know what? Let's settle this. Let's go to the depth chart, man. But yeah, man, I mean James Robinson versus Houston, it's a tremendous flex spot to have this week, right? Yeah, it is Marquise Godwin, so I was right. So Steven is wrong, and it's on record. But yeah, man, I feel really good about everything about this team. As long as AB can still produce, on a consistent basis. I mean, as good as AB looked, oh my gosh, was that Goddard? Wow, he was wide open. We really hope that it's a consistent thing throughout the season, right? And my cat just walked upstairs, so if you guys hear some weird screaming in the background, it's my cat. But nonetheless, man, I think if these receivers work out for us, that this fantasy roster is loaded. And I mean, there's a lot of really good teams. Oh, we got to injure Wentz. Okay. Wow, that is a 2-point conversion. We are down 2 scores, man. Not looking good. But yeah, man, I just wish I had drafted Amari Cooper. I can't believe I mean, the fantasy gods are just out to get me. And I mean, looking back at this team, outside of depth, right? I mean, who am I going to start over David Montgomery, James Robinson, and Christian McCaffrey? And I love going running back heavy and having 1 or 2 RB1s on my bench, but I think I should have snagged a receiver a little bit earlier, like an Amari Cooper. I mean, it's just going to beat me up all season long unless I get it out now. So what's up, my guy Michael? 16-team league, Wentz, Darnold, or Jimmy G in week 1. Man, I like Wentz actually a lot against Seattle. I mean, I think obviously it's a very bad defense and awful secondary, right? And I do like him as a sleeper and in deeper leagues as well as super flex leagues this week. Darnold isn't a bad matchup by any means as well, against the New York Jets, right? So I do like both of those guys a whole lot. But if I'm being honest, man, oh my gosh, how was that an interception? Okay, sorry, Michael. I really like Jimmy G this week, man. I really, really do like Jimmy G. As bad as Seattle is defensively, and as bad as New York Jets are defensively, I think that Detroit is god awful defensively. I mean, I think Jimmy G, in all seriousness, could throw for 4 touchdowns, right? And I, you know, could certainly see Russell. Wow, Carson Wentz just juked me. Could certainly see not Russell Wilson. I'm sorry, Carson Wentz and Sam Darnold having three passing touchdowns or more each. But I think that Jimmy G is the absolute lock in terms of. I mean, the only stipulation would be that they get Trey Lance involved, and maybe he steals some touchdowns. And we also know that they like to run the football a lot, and the Detroit Lions have been god awful against the run game. Although Dan Campbell biting at the knees is their new head coach, right? And they might have some. Oh my gosh, I'm getting fried in this game. They might be able to step up based off of the coaching experience, right? But uh, nonetheless, I think that Detroit's going to be pretty bad against the run, and that might hurt. Jimmy G's chances in the red zone, but nonetheless, man, I look for San Francisco to put up 40 plus points in this game. I mean, I think they're going to go absolutely nuts, and I think Steven is hopping in here, Jimmy G, especially if Lance is out. And yeah, I didn't know anything about Trey Lance being out, but if that's the circumstance, then yeah. I think Jimmy G's a lock if you're asking me, man. But I think you have some other good options there with Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz. And I mean, I would be a little bit leery of Carson Wentz, coming back from such a serious injury in such a quick time. Wow, how did Trey Quinn drop that? But overall, man, yeah, I would roll with Jimmy G if I were you, and I would really try to exploit, that matchup as much as you can. I mean, if you have any Niners, wow, I'm getting absolutely destroyed in this game. If you have any 49ers that you can start in your fantasy roster, then I would absolutely do so because, like I said, Detroit is just scary bad, right? I mean, I feel bad for them, but we really need to, as fantasy communities, start uh, any offensive players against that Detroit Lions defense throughout the entire year. And Michael, you said you're stashing Justin Fields. Well, congrats, because I think that Fields is going to have. How did you not catch that? I'm about to quit this game and just go on to the next one. I think that Justin Fields is gonna see the field this year, man, and no pun intended, bro. And I like that stash a lot. Do you have all four of those quarterbacks on your roster? I'm curious. And if not, are they some of those guys just available on the waiver wire? Definitely curious to know how many of those guys are actually on your active roster. And yeah, man, I think that Justin Fields, I think it's very likely that Andy Dalton could come out and play pretty well. But I mean, for example, week 1 here, he's got the Rams. He's got an awful matchup. And if Andy Dalton comes out and is just playing poorly for those first couple of weeks, then I think overall, and you know what, man, I'm gonna sim this game. I can't play without my playbook, and this is embarrassing. It's so embarrassing that I'm simming, man. And I might even the computer might be better than me and score another touchdown. Yeah, that's how bad I am at Madden in general. So roast me for this, guys. But we're exiting and we're moving to another playbook. But I'm going to move ahead in the comments here. Steven agrees with us that Jimmy G is the must start, especially if Lance is out, which we went over. Rio Goaded, what's up, my dude? Good to see you in the live chat, in the stream. Always happy to have you in here, my guy. Appreciate that love and support. Let me know your final roster questions, for your fantasy squad this week. But definitely excited to have you in here, my guy. But Michael, you're saying, okay, I agree. Think Jimmy G is the matchup. Yeah, man, it's just such a good opportunity. I mean, it's going to be really hard to not start him, right? I mean, I know that I certainly couldn't bench him if I had him in any leagues. And there's a lot of leagues out there where he's available on the waiver wire, right? And it's just such a good matchup. I mean, there are some quarterbacks who've got pretty tough matchups. Like Josh Allen's the perfect example. I mean, going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And I don't know, man. I can't believe that he's just out there available as just such a good overall. As such a good overall waiver wire pickup and such a good matchup this week, man. So I've got to change this to Green Bay, or I'm going to lose my mind, man. I always roll with the Green Bay offensive playbook. You can ask Steven. This is like very serious to me. Uh, but I'll get why why can't I find Green Bay? Am I going crazy? But so you don't have Wentz, Michael. I do not. Oh, I do not. I have Wentz and Fields. Excuse me. Others are pickup options. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't hate that duo of Wentz and Fields that you have, um, but I would definitely try and get Jimmy G on your roster for this week. But you need to be a little bit strategic about it, right? Because I don't know how good Jimmy G is going to be in future weeks, and he's definitely going to have some tough matchups within that division as well. Excuse me, but uh, I don't know how good Carson Wentz is going to be this year either. So uh, I'll go ahead. I'll pull up the 49ers schedule real quick, and we'll see what we can get going for you, my guy. But let's see here. I mean, I don't have any 40. Let's see. Steven's got Trey Lance on his bench, so that works out. I mean, listen, man, Jimmy G's got Philly in week 2. So another pretty good matchup, right? Green Bay in week 3. I mean, it's not the most favorable matchup, but it's at least decent. Then he's got Seattle and Arizona. So I actually think that Jimmy G, as long as we're not seeing a lot of Trey Lance out there, I mean, that's definitely something that you're going to have to monitor, right? I think that Jimmy G is a pretty decent pickup overall. And let's just compare that um, to that of the Colts as well. And yeah, like I mentioned, my cat is now in the live stream screaming as well. So yeah, I mean Carson Wentz is going to see the Chargers, the Rams in week 2. It's a tough matchup for an injured quarterback, right? I mean, week 3 he's got Tennessee, a favorable matchup, but weeks 4 and 5, Miami and Baltimore, so not as favorable. It's very back and forth. Week 6 he's got Houston, week 7 San Francisco, week 8 Tennessee, New York Jets, Jacksonville. That's a nice run, and then Buffalo and Tampa Bay. So I think that if you can hold on to Carson Wentz, it might be worth it just to have some more options there, as we don't know when Justin Fields is going to see the field, right? But overall, man, for week 1, I would get Jimmy G on this roster, baby. I think that he's going to be lights out. So, yeah, man, I still think you want to roll with Jimmy G, and you've got a couple good matchups, but you are going to also be able to exploit Carson Wentz in some matchups throughout this season as well. So let me know if you've got any other questions around your roster, Michael. Definitely interested to see what running backs, what receivers, tight end you've got going, what defense you got going, all that as well. 16-man leagues are really interesting, man. If you're new to the channel, I mean, first of all, go and become part of the Catch fam and hit that sub button, baby. But yeah, man, I play in a 20-man league, and it's slim pickings out there, man. And I know in a 16-man league, it's pretty slim as well. But I've got Tua as my starting quarterback in my 20-man league, who, like I said, man, if you're new to this channel, Tua's been one of my sleepers like all offseason and preseason. And for whatever reason, I do think that he's going to have a good season. I've got a lot of faith in Tua, actually, but just to give you perspective, man, I don't have the prettiest quarterbacks out there as well. And I'm sorry, guys. I thought I started this game and it just hadn't loaded, but I hadn't even started it. So I'm going to sip of tea here. Rio goated. I had Zeke. I knew he wasn't going to do good. Yeah, man, we talked about that a little bit. As Steven is saying, Zeke will be back. Don't let anyone try and trade for him. I do agree with that. I think on the season, Ezekiel Elliott is still going to have a great year overall. But the game script of that game that we saw Thursday night was just pass the ball because Dallas knew that they had to keep up with Tom Brady. I mean, Brady looked like a version of Brady I don't know if you've seen before, right? I mean, Steve and I talked about this quite some time back when we did our NFC South preview podcast, man. And I mean, Steven hit it on the dot by going out and getting Brady in fantasy. And I mean, Brady just looks like he's in true MVP form. Like, uh, potentially like how we saw Peyton play. And I just paused in the middle of that play when he went out and threw for 50 touchdowns. Right, man, I'm scared of Tom Brady right now. And yeah, I mean, in other words, that game script was a pass heavy game, right? And I just don't know that Zeke needed to get involved. But on the season, man, I do believe that Ezekiel Elliott's going to have a great year. So don't give up on him. Uh, and I know it's disappointing to see, especially with the amount of draft capital that you did spend on him. But he'll be back, and don't stress about it too much. I know it's tough, but I'm trying to think of what running back I had last year who, in week one, played very, very poorly. I think it was Derrick Henry, if I'm not mistaken. Um, no, he had a good week one last year. Wasn't Henry, but I'm going to figure that out. Well, probably take a lot of effort to figure out who I had in fantasy last year. So, but nonetheless, I had a pretty similar situation where I didn't see. You know what, man? I do feel like it was Derrick Henry. I'm going to try and simultaneously pull that up, which is I'm going to break down your team in just a second here, Michael. Let's see if we can't get. Come on, hit that. There we go. Okay, so Michael's got Montgomery at the running back spot, Hopkins, CeeDee Lamb, and McLaurin and Davis. Very nice right there. Carlson and the Pats, and you've got Fields, Hawkinson, Murray, and Edwards. For a 16-man league, I mean, yeah, that's great. That's a really good roster, especially at the receiver position. Man, I feel like I'm assuming you're starting Hopkins, Lamb, and McLaurin every week, and then Corey Davis is giving you really good, overall depth as well. Um, oh shoot, well it's okay. We just got a penalty, but yeah, man. I mean, I think Hawkinson's a great tight end, of course. So I think your roster looks solid. If I'm not mistaken, am I only seeing one running back listed, or am I missing something? Well, overall, I like your team a lot, my guy. And I mean, those receivers are going to be lethal. Especially, I mean, I'm assuming that you're playing full PPR. So, and if you're not, I mean, regardless, those guys are going to eat all year long for you. I'm sure you're happy about how CeeDee Lamb came out and played. And the positive with CeeDee Lamb is that he's going to be freed up, especially the way that Amari Cooper played, last week, right? I mean, it's going to be really hard for opposing defenses to really choose who they're going to cover. I mean, the injury to Michael Gallup, uh, obviously really hurts overall as well, because that was a whole nother decoy for Dallas to have out on the field as well. But I mean, Dalton Schultz stepped up at the tight end position. We know Zeke can catch the ball out of the backfield as well as Tony Pollard. So Dallas is still going to be very good, but nonetheless, I mean, who do you cover, right? If you have just Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and everyone else just taken out of the equation, for example, I mean, who would you cover out of those two guys? And who would you put the majority of your defensive pressure on? It's a tough decision. So you only start one running back. Dude, that's pretty fortunate. You can, draft pretty strategically if you know you only are going to start one running back. So you've got Edwards and Murray on bench. Okay, I'm following you now, my guy. My bad. But yeah, I mean, I would start Montgomery out of those guys. If you're new to the channel, man, David Montgomery's been my guy like all year long. So I think that's a great start. As your oh my gosh, what was that interception, man? Okay, we can't throw anywhere near Isaiah Simmons. Now Kyler Murray is going to come out and just fry us. But uh, yeah, man. How many receivers can you start? Because if you can start all three, then I mean that's obviously what you're doing. And once again, you can obviously draft very strategically around that as well. So that's a fun league. I'd like to try something like that. Come on, man. Oh, you got Montgomery in every league. That's what's up, my guy. Hey, if you guys are in here, go ahead and smash that like button as well, so we can get this stream and other people's good old YouTube algorithm as well. But nonetheless, man, yeah, I've been so high on David Montgomery. I mean, if you go back and watch any of those mock drafts that we were conducting on the channel, man, literally like every single mock draft I did, I was drafting David Montgomery. I had to literally start doing drafts where I did not target David Montgomery because I realized in every mock draft I was doing, I ended up picking him. But oh wow, what was a screenplay that just wow? Kenyon Drake is destroying us. But okay, you've got three receivers slash tight end in a flex, RB wide receiver or tight end. Okay, yeah. I mean, dude, I mean that combination of Hopkins, Lamb, and McLaurin is going to be filthy. And I seriously think that David Montgomery could be one of the top 10 rushers in the league this year, especially from what we saw him do towards the end of the year last year. So I think you've got a pretty lethal team overall. And I understand your concern at the quarterback position, but I do think that overall you are going to be able to overcome that as well. So I wouldn't stress too much there. Steven says rough matchup versus the Rams. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit as I was breaking down my fantasy roster, which I didn't actually, I guess I didn't really finish, right? But I think due to volume, David Montgomery is still going to have a good game overall and worth a start this week. But can I deny that the Rams are a tough matchup? No, I absolutely cannot. Uh, but I do think, if and when the Bears do get near the red zone, that they are going to do very well overall in terms of just being able to hand it to David Montgomery. So, how many times do they get to the red zone? I'm not quite sure, right? But whenever they are there, I do believe that David Montgomery is going to be the person that they feed. And I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities to get into the red zone. But overall, man, wow, what a bad defensive play by me. The Rams are going to probably do a lot of bad things to that Bears offense. So I don't disagree with you, Steven, but still from a fantasy perspective, I think that Montgomery is someone that you have to start, especially with, potential draft capital that you spent on him. A little bit easier for me to say because I've got Christian McCaffrey at the Jets and I've got James Robinson at the Texans. So I've got a lot of support at the running back position as well, and obviously my receivers are pretty thin. So I would rather start that of David Montgomery. Wow, Larry Fitzgerald. Over some of those receivers on my bench. So, oh wow, we got a personal foul. Come on, man. But yeah, I would say that the tougher matchup in that game overall would have to be your guy, Allen Robinson, Steven. I mean, facing that of Jalen Ramsey. I'm more scared about the receivers overall, but I don't know. I mean, could Andy Dalton come out and surprise us? I mean, stranger things have happened in the NFL. Could the Rams, out of nowhere, be very bad defensively? Well, probably not. But it could happen, and David Montgomery could run all over the place. So, just like Christian Kirk is doing to me right now. But Man, that Rams defense, which is really the next spot on my fantasy roster, right, that we needed to break down. I do think that they're going to cause some turnovers this week, of course. It's really hard to say because I like Andy Dalton, right? And I do still somewhat believe that he's a pretty good quarterback overall. But nonetheless, I just see him ending up with one fumble and an interception at least against this defense, right? So uh, I think that we can all expect the Rams to have a good defensive week. And I do have them against me in my 20-man league. So not feeling great about that, but being that I have them against Steven, it's worth the pain. I mean, I've also got the Rams kicker, and while I expect the Rams to, was that a touchdown? No, we got them at the one. While I do expect the Rams to put up a lot of points, I actually don't know if this game script really benefits a kicker, right? Because I actually think that the Rams are going to have an opportunity to get up and on the scoreboard pretty early in this game. Wow, just got scored on, right? So I don't know. I don't know how many points the Rams are really going to have to score against the Bears overall. So it's hard to say, but nonetheless, I'm starting Matt Gay at the kicker position. So, I mean, sometimes in lower scoring games, kickers see a lot of benefit needing to score more field goals overall. So, I'm still going to start that at Matt Gay on the Rams. But looking at my bench, man, I mean, I've got Telvin Coleman, I've got Javonte Williams, Corey Davis, Terrace Marshall Jr., and that of Henry Ruggs, and then Rashad Bateman on IR. So, I don't really see myself needing to go over any of those bench players, as a lot of them we just drafted based off of. Oh wow, I didn't mean to take this out of the end zone. Yeah, spin move. Okay, we base them more in terms of watching how they progress in the first couple of weeks and hoping that they were sleepers. So nonetheless, let's see if we can't go out and not throw an interception with Phillip Rivers, who I'm already regretting having on this team. And I do need to kind of change up this depth chart as well. But Taylor Gabriel's kind of looking like a receiver I like to play with, but we're in the 2-minute drill here. But okay, so breaking down my 20-man league as well. I mean, I've got Tua time at the quarterback position, and yeah, I mean, I'm happy with Tua, even versus the Patriots. And we went out and purposely targeted Tua in this 20-man league for a reason. I mean, a big part of it is I just wanted to put my money where, wow, thought I was going to get intercepted again. My money where my mouth was, right, and have Tua in one of my leagues and start him, right? But I also kind of strategically, in my 20-man league, targeted Tua because I didn't think anyone was going to be taking him early, and I knew that would allow us to build the rest of that roster, although we kind of slipped up at the tight end position, right? And, oh, wow, I just got sacked. But nonetheless, I'm happy with Tua versus Miami. My opponent, 23 Huncho, a very, very good dominant player in this fantasy league. He's got Josh Allen starting, and I'm kind of happy about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I think that Josh Allen could certainly come out and throw for 4+ touchdowns or at least 3 scores in this game and a rushing score or whatever, man. Kind of similar to how we saw Dak go off against a very good defense in Tampa Bay on Thursday, right? But I could also see Josh Allen coming out and not playing too well overall, this being a lower scoring game than some are anticipating. And I just threw another interception. I mean, I do have Phillip Rivers, so it's not that surprising. So I don't want to say that I like Josh Allen against me in fantasy, but I'm at least happy that it's a tougher matchup overall, and that could benefit me pretty substantially in this matchup overall. So I am starting Jerry Jeudy versus the New York Giants, and I like that start a lot. I mean, I made a mistake when we were doing our D-Catch fam roster. We were drafting that 10-man league, Steven and myself, right? And I said that I didn't have Jerry Jeudy in my 20-man league, and I don't know how I slipped that up because that was another player that I purposely and strategically went out and targeted, right? And I think he's going to have a fantastic week against the Giants. Uh, and I really don't have anything else to say about that. I'm super confident in Jerry Jeudy, right? Uh, but I'm sitting here at the moment. I'm starting Corey Davis against the Carolina Panthers in my 20-man league. And for me, there's really no in between. I think that Corey Davis has a very good game from a PPR standpoint, but against the rookie corner, right? Horn could come out. And I think we could see one or two things, right? I talked about this briefly in my receiver must starts for the week, right? I could see Corey Davis lighting up, this rookie corner, and this rookie corner coming out and folding under pressure, or I could see the exact opposite happening, and Corey Davis just gets locked up. So it's a tough matchup to call, if I'm being honest, but in a 20-man league, I don't really have a choice, right? I've got to start Corey Davis, and I'm happy with Jeudy and Corey Davis going out there as my respective wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. So with that being said, at the my prime running back position, I feel great, man. I mean, I've got Aaron Jones versus the Saints, which I like that matchup. The Saints aren't too bad up front, but I still think, nonetheless, the Packers are going to move the football against this team. And I think that Aaron Jones is going to be obviously a focal part of that offense and definitely be utilized heavily and have a lot of opportunities to get in the red zone. So I'm happy with that matchup overall. And then I've got James Robinson out of Houston, which we've already talked about in my, ties to my 12-man league, right? And I like that matchup a whole lot, of course, for obvious reasons. So the only kind of slip up here is that we've got Jared Cook. Like I said, not too happy about my tight end position as Kyler Murray just juked the shit out of me, right? But I've got to start Jared Cook versus Washington. I don't like the matchup as well. We're already trying to get Dalton Schultz on this team also to kind of give Jared Cook some support. But hey, I mean, you never know. Jared Cook could come out and play pretty decently overall, and it could be Justin Herbert's new favorite target. So we'll see what happens. We'll roll with the dices, and it could be worse, I guess. But I've got Robert Tonyan versus me at the tight end position, and that makes me pretty scared overall because you guys know that I love Robert Tonyan. And yeah, I don't think the Saints are going to play very well as Kenyon Drake just stuff it to me, man. But nonetheless, man, I mean, also against me, man, I've got Devontae Adams and Robert Woods, which is pretty lethal. The running backs against me are Kareem Hunt and Zach Moss, so I'm not too worried there. And then in his flex spot, he's got A.J. Green. So don't get me wrong. I mean, Zach Moss and Kareem Hunt could put up pretty good stat lines. A.J. Green, I mean, of course, versing the Tennessee Titans is a pretty favorable matchup for my opponent, but I don't know. I mean, I like that addition to that offense, but overall, I'm not too worried about it, right? So, looking at my flex position, I've got Darrell Henderson versus the Chicago Bears at the moment, as I do believe he's going to have some good scoring opportunities overall. So I like that matchup at the moment. I mean, you guys know I played around with that a little bit. I considered starting Marquez Callaway, but I just can't. I don't want to start a wide receiver one versus Jair Alexander. I think it's just a bad move. But I won't be surprised if Callaway scores this week. Then I do have DJ Chark versus Houston. I've got Ramondre Stevenson, who I don't think I want to start. And then I've got Rondell Moore of the Arizona Cardinals versus the Tennessee Titans. So I like that matchup, but that's another situation where we kind of want to sit back and see how he's utilized. I've got Brandon McManus as my kicker and the Carolina Panthers defense. So overall, I actually feel pretty good about this entire lineup. And man, I mean, Young Ho Q is against me as at his kicker position, and he's got the LA Rams. So I've got a good squad against me. I mean, some question marks, some weaknesses, but our roster has some weaknesses overall as well. But nonetheless, oh man, Kyler is just giving it to me, bro. But I feel good about where my 20-man roster stands at the moment. I mean, I'm projected 125.82 points overall, and my opponent's projected 129.64 points overall. He's got a 53% chance probability of winning. I'm at 47%. So it's actually pretty close. And I feel pretty good about that overall. I think that we definitely have a chance to come out and win this football game. Well, not this football game, this fantasy matchup, but in my eyes, this football game, right? So, yeah, man. I mean, those are our primary starting lineups, and then of course, we do. Wow, we just suffered a torn labrum, and that is not good. And Phil Rivers' stat line looked awful there. So, yeah, that is not good at all. But we'll survive, man. I mean, how are you going to play Madden with no injuries, right? It's part of the game, man. Part of EA. Okay, so let's see if we can't hit this long. Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to be intercepted, man. I don't know if I can play a full season with Philip Rivers at the quarterback position, but we might have to. It may be too late, right? So let's see if we can't at least get some solid. There we go. There we go. Good move, man. We need to get in the red zone. I mean, this fantasy talk has been fun, man. But if I lose another game of Madden, and I mean in bad fashion, like I lost that first one was rough, man. If you guys start cooking me for that first game of Madden we played, I won't blame you, unless it's Steven. I don't want to hear it from you, bro. But come on, man. I just need someone. Okay, we're doing this. We needed to do this from the beginning. We need to change this depth chart at the receiver position, and we need to get Scary Terry involved here because I can't suffer too much. Yeah, we need to get Jakeem Grant involved. I mean, what are we doing, man? I can't suffer too much humiliation in Madden on this channel, or Steven will never let it disappear from the channel. All right. I think Scary Terry's going to break this. Philip, man, if you guys play Madden, you know how this works. Your receiver is wide open, and you press the button like you do any other time, and the game has already decided that you are getting sacked, and then he just gets sacked. Wow, that was the most tremendous play I've ever seen in Madden, my entire Madden career. And it happened with Philip Rivers, so that's exciting. Oh, and we let the clock. Wow, that was Randall Cobb too. I mean, Philip Rivers to Randall Cobb is pretty interesting. Rob21, what's up, my guy? I think you are new to the channel. Appreciate you being here, man. Excited to have you here. How are you finding the new game? So, this is actually Madden 21. You missed the beginning of this stream. Yeah, I did actually try to download Madden 22 tonight for this first fantasy Q&A, leading up to week 1 of the season, right, with kickoff starting tomorrow, and I did not download in time, so I am having to play Madden 21, but from what I've heard, you might as well just play Madden 05 and just skip Madden 22 altogether. So I will be playing Madden 22 on the next live stream, but for tonight, we're rolling with Madden 21, which fits your name, my guy. Fits Rob21 pretty perfectly. And no, dude, no worries, bro. No reason to say my bad. I mean, if anything, it's my bad for letting anyone come into the stream thinking we were rolling with Madden 22. But I am excited to actually play Madden 22. I was kind of boycotting it, to be honest. But I'm excited to play it and just to see, how bad it is overall, which sounds really bad. But if you're new to the channel, man, first of all, I appreciate you being here and consider becoming part of the Catch fam and hitting that sub button. But outside of that, man, my co-host Steven and myself are longtime Madden players and longtime Madden franchise players. So we've really been through the ups and downs of Madden. Man, all my players are getting like destroyed. Uh, and yeah, man, it's definitely a journey. And I considered just playing some old school Madden tonight for the sake of this live stream. And honestly, would it be that different? Is this game that much different than Madden 05 or Madden 08? I'm not quite sure. But nonetheless, we scored a touchdown. So that's exciting. Let's see if I can make this field goal, not miss this field goal. I might miss it. Like I said, I've got like a slight lag in this game overall, so won't be surprised if I do miss some field goals as my defense is getting hype on the sideline. But yeah, let me know, Rob21, what's your favorite Madden overall? And if you've played 22, what are your thoughts on it? Because I've seen a lot of negative feedback around Madden 22. And, to be fair, when, Madden 21 came out, there was a lot of negative feedback as well. And I didn't end up playing Madden 21 too much. I played a good bit of the yard with my homie Ben. Shout out to you, Ben. When it first came out, and I played a little bit of franchise mode, but that was also at the same time when, and Steven can attest to this, I was super into Call of Duty Warzone, and I spent all my gaming time really just playing Warzone, and kind of gave up, on Madden as a whole, as I was just pretty disappointed in the game overall. I've been watching you for a few weeks now, getting ready for my first fantasy football league. Now I'm hooked on your vids and can't stop watching. LOL. Hey, I appreciate that love, 100%, man. Appreciate the support you've been giving us. It is somewhat hard to tell, who's subscribed and who's not. So not wasn't trying to overload you with asking that question when you're already subscribed and already been showing us support. So we appreciate you being part of the Catch fam, my guy. And yeah, man, if you have any fantasy questions for your lineup leading up to tomorrow, please let me and Steven know as our co-host. Mod Steven is in the house running a little bit of the chat as well. We're definitely happy to assist in any way we can. So you've got Russie Wilson, Dalvin Cook. Was that a first down? Please don't tell me it was. All right, we got to call a timeout. You got Gibson, Ridley, Godwin, Mixon as a flex, Fant, Rams defense, and Tucker debating on whether to start Hurts over Russ. I think you should if you're asking me, man. Don't forget, that Indianapolis defense is quite good. And I can see that game having more points scored than I think some people are anticipating. But I could also actually see that game being kind of low scoring from Seattle's perspective. I think that's a very, very, very difficult game to call. And in other words, I think that Indianapolis is going to play pretty well against our guy Russie Wilson. But he's still Russell Wilson, and if he comes out and does some Russell Wilson things and you benched him, I'm going to feel really bad. But I think, in other words, Hurts is a lock to put up a fair amount of points as the Atlanta Falcons defense is trash. So I would roll with Jalen Hurts, and it looks like Steven agrees, and you agree with being worried about the Colts defense. Yeah, man, I think that Jalen Hurts is the better matchup and better start overall. But The problem with Russell Wilson is he has that ability to come out and play at an MVP level whenever he wants. But oh, whoa! Did you guys see that play? And we got an injury timeout from Arizona. Dude, how did Jakeem Grant dislocate his shoulder? That's like the fifth injured player I've had in like the last 10 minutes. Okay, whatever. Thanks, guys. I think that's what I'll do. Hey, shout out to you, my guy. Thank you for the question. You don't even need to say thanks, but we do appreciate that. But yeah, man. Jalen Hurts. I mean, uh, it's a fantastic matchup, but also a lot of the times when we are seeing these quarterbacks come out and have their first big opportunity to really showcase why they became the QB1 on their respective team. And, I mean, think about that situation overall. I mean, Carson Wentz didn't win that Super Bowl for Philly by any means. He didn't win any playoff games for them, but he was a big part of that Super Bowl winning season, which was something that meant a lot to the Philadelphia Eagles organization and their fan base. And he's gone. And Jalen Hurts is the guy there, and he's got a lot to prove, right? And he's got a very, very bad defense in his first week. I mean, it's not his first, week as a starter with the Eagles, but his first full season as the starter and the guy with the Eagles. And man, I think he could come out and just be lights out in week one. And I think that's going to be a really fun game to watch. And if I miss this extra point, okay, I don't know what was going to happen, but I was going to be pretty scared, right? Rob21, Steven, you got a good roster. Steven's got a pretty bad roster, if you're asking me. I don't expect him to beat me this week whatsoever. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but he's just not as good as I am at fantasy. So that's all I got to say on that matter. But I'm just kidding, by the way. I'm just being a jerk. But yeah, Steve and I have had some pretty great trash talk with one another throughout this week, as we typically do when we play one another, and it just coincidentally worked out that you know we're co-hosts on this channel, and overall, we're also playing each other in week one in our primary league also. But no, I do like Steven's roster and the team he pieced together overall. Oh gosh, please don't let... How was that a catch? Oh, that helped us. That was a catch. Steven's sending you a link of the walkthrough of his team. Don't be too hard on him. If you do feel like you need to comment about how poor his team is, he's used to it. But let's take a look at Steven's team and his matchups while we're here. Since I've done some trash talking, let's help Steven out a little bit. And hey, this game of Madden has gotten pretty good, guys. I mean, yeah, I don't know who Steven's starting against me other than Rodrigo Blankenship, because he has all his players on his bench except for Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, and Rodrigo Blankenship. But interesting bench Steven has got here. I mean, it's for some reason I don't see a link. Could it be because I'm on mobile? Either that or Steven didn't send you a link. But that's one of our more recent videos, man. If you do go to the channel, that's one of the more recent videos we put out. Steven loves his wide receiver depth, led by Godwin, Allen Robinson, and Tom Brady. But yikes, why did I draft Austin Eckler week one? I think you meant round one. Yeah, Steven, you reached for Austin Eckler there. You picked him at pick 5, which really surprised me. But hey, man, I mean, Zeke and Aaron Jones, I think, would have been your next top guys. And, I mean, obviously Zeke didn't have a very good week one, right? What? Okay, I thought I threw a pick. But, hey, man, I'll keep breaking down Steven's roster here, too. I mean, Antonio Gibson, I think, is an absolute threat this week. I am worried that, obviously I think Steven is going to start Antonio Gibson versus me. I mean, you've got Zach Moss. Receivers are looking very good, though. Man, my cat is going crazy, so I'm sorry if that's I mean, if anything, it's adding character to. Whoa! Oh no, Philip! Philip, are you kidding me? Oh man, come on, Phil. Man, I gotta throw this football. Yeah, so Steven went very receiver heavy. Allen Robinson, Michael Gallup, Jamar Chase, DJ Chark, Brandon Ayuk. So yeah, and then Chris Godwin, of course, as well. And then Mark Andrews at the tight end position. So I like, not used to seeing Steven go so receiver heavy. And wow, that's not going to be just return it for a touchdown. Just wow. Well, at least my Madden embarrassments are now recorded for everyone to watch whenever they wish. That was probably one of the worst endings to a Madden game I've ever had. I'm considering trading Philip Rivers now. That was pretty rough. I mean, the fumble and then the pick six. Yeah, sorry, Rob. I didn't really give you the best breakdown of Steven's roster as I was uh, trying to multitask. And it's also very difficult because Steven has all of his players on his bench. And Kyler Murray didn't throw a single incompletion in that game against me. Um, but yeah, he's got the Pats defense as well. I mean, yeah, a lot of good potential breakthrough running backs. So mine and Steven's teams are built in the exact opposite sense from one another, right? Steven has some potential running backs on his bench that could break out and really round off his team overall, right? And while I've got the opposite, I've got some kind of diamond in the rough wide receivers who could potentially break out and really round out my RB heavy squad. So, man, I don't think we can keep playing with Philip Rivers. I mean, a fumble, an overtime, and then a pick six. I'll take anyone over Philip Rivers. Anyone who wants Philip, you got him. I don't think anyone's going to show any substantial interest. But wow, Steven, when I beat John, make sure to roast him in the comments. Steven for the gold. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if Steven beats me whatsoever. But let the trash talk commence. Why not? Are there any QBs on or available via free agent that we would rather start? Uh, let's see. Josh McCown or Brian Hoyer or Trevor Simeon, Sean Kaiser. Okay, so all right, we're playing with Philly Rivers, but man, I really don't want to at the moment. What quarterback should we add who's actually talented to this roster? Nick Foles? No. Joe Burrow? No. We'll keep him where he is. Josh Allen's a 78. And I used the most recent rosters, if I'm not mistaken. Watch your matchup be decided by Mark Andrews Rumble on Monday night. Hey, it would at least be exciting, man. And yeah, it's going to be interesting if, Steven and I are pretty neck and neck because I've got Lamar Jackson Monday night and then he's got that of Mark Andrews Monday night. So if anything, it could actually boil down to those two guys whose points will essentially be negating one another, right? So it's definitely going to be interesting as well. And man, let's get Tua on this roster because, in the true sense of the catch fam, I think we need Tua on this roster. Okay, they're not interested. I will trade anything I have to get Tua on this roster right now. So let's see if they'll take third round picks. All right, they don't want to trade Tua. So I probably should have tried to do that sooner when I actually had better players to trade. But let's see. I just want like a semi-mobile quarterback who's not Philip Rivers. Wow, check out Colin Kaepernick's afro there. I'm worried to face Lamar and Mark Andrews on Monday. They could have huge games to ruin my week. Yeah, man, if you've got both those guys against you, uh, I mean, I'm just being real with you. It's going to be rough if you're asking me, but might get lucky to where you don't see a lot of action out of Mark Andrews, right? But nonetheless, it's very unlikely. And unfortunately, Mark Andrews is really that primary red zone target in terms of the passing game for that of Lamar Jackson. Um, Man, I can't wait to go back and watch this stream and listen to my cat. She's a very vocal cat, so she is still screaming. I don't know if that's annoying you guys, but I'm sorry nonetheless. So we're rolling with Phil Rivers because no one wants to trade with me, and half my team got injured in that last game, and now I'm playing the Browns, so I'm going to get roasted again. And you guys are probably going to think I'm very, very bad at Madden, and I don't have a lot to back that up. And I doubt that Steven will come through for me here and let you guys know that I am okay at Madden. But we'll keep doing these Madden live streams, and hopefully in Madden 22 after today. So, Steven, if that happens, I will cry for an entire night and then just make Andy Dalton my starting QB for life. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad option. If that happened and I did that to you, then that would be a pretty great feeling. So, and put things in perspective, I mean, I had definitely beaten Steven in the regular season in the past couple of years, but where I don't seem to be able to beat him in fantasy is in any relevant game, the fantasy championship, fantasy playoffs, things like that. So I actually have a good feeling against Steven this week, but overall, I still fear him. And, really between Steven and myself, where we have, the best overall, uh, quality in terms of fantasy, it has to be within the waiver wires. So, week one is always interesting because, as I got absolutely lit up on that last play, right? But it's always interesting because it's never truly our best performance of the year, as those performances come much, much later in the season when we've really pieced together our respective teams through the waiver wire, right? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, uh, like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to actually think about this. I think 90. I just had to call a timeout. Wow, like 90% of my starting roster last year in the fantasy playoffs in mine and Stevens league were not players that I actually drafted. Right, so oh, please catch this. How was that an interception? Are you kidding me? Is he really gonna return it? Wow. Like I said, I'm pretty good at Madden, as this stream has not shown, but we did piece together a relatively awful team as well. But Rob 21, I'm looking to pick up Marquez Callaway after week one from waivers. Yeah, yeah, I would do it, man. I like him a lot, and I think he's a bad player to have this week facing Jiro Alexander, right? I mean, I'm not starting him in my 20-man league, and he was like a prime target for me in my 20-man league. And I do think he's going to be the wide receiver number one on that team, and we've seen that chemistry between, that of Callaway and Jameis Winston, right? So, I love that, waiver wire target, right? And I would not be scared to go out and pick him up. And even when Michael Thomas comes back, uh, man, I don't know if he's going to come back to the Saints. I truly don't. I don't think Sean Payton's messing around with that, man. I think, at this point, with all the injuries that Michael Thomas has gone through, I don't know what type of draft capital they're going to get from him, from trading him, that is. But overall, I do think that they're if you're asking me at the moment, man, I think they're going to try and trade Michael Thomas and at least get a mid-round pick for him, right? So I don't know. I don't trust Michael Thomas. I think he's still going to have a good career overall, but I had Michael Thomas. Whoa, are you kidding me? Are you guys seeing this? I mean, I should have taken a pause. I should have ran that play. I went no huddle. Wow. Yeah, Steven, I have not won a game tonight. I am kidding. Fried. I mean, like I said, this is my first time playing Madden in a minute. And I'm playing on a very, I'm playing on my, actually my laptop, so I can, use the stream as well. First time live streaming, Madden gameplay or Xbox gameplay. So there's probably a better way to do this that I'll try and figure out tomorrow. But, I mean, excuses. Still doesn't really speak to how poorly I'm playing, right? As this is the first time the Browns offense has been on the field, and wow. I mean, this was a fantasy Q&A live stream. The Madden was really just to have something in the background, so it's all good. It's all gravy. Uh, so we'll move on. I mean, Steven, if you want, bro, I am online. You can invite me to a game, and we can show everyone who's better between us two. That could work too, and I could beat you. But nonetheless, man, Rob 21 only in an 8-man league for me as well, so quite a bit of room to pick up players from waivers. Yeah, I mean, that's well, it's definitely beneficial for you, man. That's the challenge of an 8-man league. That I mean, obviously, when you draft in an 8-man league, you come out with a very strong roster overall, and so for some people look at that and say, well, an 8-man league is easier, but the unique challenge is week in and week out, you are going to have very good players on your. Oh wow, that's touchdown by Jarvis Landry. You're going to have very good players on your bench, and you're going to have very good players on the waiver wire every week. And you're really having to make some tough calls about who to start, right? So it is a challenge within itself, very different from a deeper league and the challenge that those present in terms of lack of depth, right? So I think at the moment, Marquez Callaway is a great waiver wire target for you to have. Yeah, man, I mean, definitely keep in mind that you have the advantage that you have more players to potentially pick from. But that also makes the waiver wire as a whole pretty competitive, right? So, I mean, it's already competitive in 10, 12, 14, 20, and 16-man leagues and 18-man leagues, right? I haven't heard of anyone playing in an 18-man league. I've heard, of course, 12 and 14 and 10. I mean, we all know that I'm playing in a 20-man league, and then I've heard, people do play in 16-man leagues, but I still haven't had anyone actually say they play in an 18-man league, so I don't really reference that. So, Rob 21, exactly, and it's especially challenging since it's my first time playing fantasy football. Well, hey, man, we will help you in any way we can, and don't stress out about it, man. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, right? But oh my gosh, bro, are you kidding me? How did that just happen, man? Wow. I am, I mean, even if I win every fantasy game this year, I am just trash at Madden now, man. I mean, I got something to prove now. I got to definitely get some more Madden live streams going so I can prove to you guys that I'm not as bad as, well, I was going to say as this live stream shows, and as the only thing I was thinking actually is as much as Steven will let you know I am, but I'm not as bad as Steven leads me on to believe, although this stream does not support that whatsoever. It's been a long time since I've played anything on Xbox. I mean, like I said, I had my Xbox unplugged for about 2 months. But nonetheless, man, Steven, curious, what do you think has been the most challenging part about being a first-time fantasy football player, to that of our guy Rob21. Rob21, appreciate it. Starting my first year of university, so not much time to do research on matchups. These videos help massively. Yeah, man, of course. We're happy to hear that. We've been, help to you in your first fantasy football journey, and we will definitely be willing to help throughout the entire season and coming football seasons as well. Did anyone just see what happened in this game? Because that is the reason why people don't like playing Madden. And I'm quitting this game because I'm awful at Madden. And I'm going to play with a team that doesn't suck, and at least score one touchdown before we end the stream for the night. So, Rob21, honestly, probably understanding where to draft certain players. Had to complete and watch many mock drafts to understand where players usually drop or rise to. Steven says, every time I look up, John is getting scored on. Hey, you're not wrong, man. That or I was throwing an interception with your guy, Philip Rivers. So, man, I actually really liked the yard. I think that was like the only decent thing that Madden did. So, wow, that franchise was that was abysmal. Okay, we'll proceed without progression. But Rob21 said LOL. So I've got the Rams, Saints, or Cowboys. We'll play at the Cowboys, and then I will face the Chiefs or the Saints. These are really good teams. Okay, I'm going to start over with three randos because I was scared of all those teams. So I've got the Rams, the Bucks, or the Jets. So I'll play as the Rams. Well, I'll play as the Bucks since I landed on them again. Three random teams to face: Broncos, Chiefs, or the Lions. All right, I'll play against the Denver Broncos because they don't scare me as much as the Chiefs. And then this will probably be our last game for the night, as it is getting pretty late, and I just want to prove that I can do something in Madden, right? Sorry, guys, love the vibe, but gotta head to bed. It's pretty late here. Have a great stream. I'm gonna have notice on to hopefully catch the next stream. Yeah, man, please hit that bell and you get that notice going as well, man. We appreciate that. We appreciate all the love and support, and thanks for joining the stream tonight, man. Had a blast with that fantasy Q&A that you brought in here, and thanks for bringing some energy, man. Good night to you, my guy, and yeah, of course, thanks for joining, man. And definitely rest up, get some sleep, as we have got a week one kicking off tomorrow. And yeah, Steven's not wrong, man. I probably will just continue losing here as well. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get it set up to where Steven and I play each other, and where I can get Steven, in the live stream as well. So, nonetheless, I'll probably try. I actually don't have my phone signed into the ESPN roster, so I can't go over our actual The Catch Fam roster. But actually, I might be able to pull it up in just a second. I think I have a method. Wow, I got lit up. Is that? Yeah, Bradley Chubb just absolutely roasted me. So that's great. Definitely what I like to see. I just saw the thumbnail for this stream, and it looks pretty god awful overall. I'll probably have to change that retrospectively. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and pull up our Catch Fam roster, and then we'll go over that as we're playing this final game, in which I'm trying to prove my worth in terms of Madden. So, I mean, I haven't heard anything from Steven saying that he would be down to verse me, in a game. So probably has to do with fear, and you could probably see why watching me play those last three games of Madden. I'm a fearful opponent. So let's just throw the ball to Chris Godwin every play, and there's no way we will lose this game. So all right, I'm going to try and pull up. I'm trying to do so. trying to pull up the Catch Fam roster as well, which, okay, I think I've got it here. So we'll break that down too as we're kind of capping out the night here also. I want to get Gronk involved early. There we go, Gronk. All right, so yeah, Catch Fam roster, 10-man league, right? We had a blast, an absolute blast, piecing together that team for the Catch Fam, man. Steven and I did that, together, did a joint draft, and that was just a ton of fun, man. If you guys haven't checked out that live stream we did, where I wasn't a live stream, that was a recorded video. Released at halftime Thursday night. So go check that out. We had a lot of fun. And like I said, I mean, that team is truly interactive. So you guys feel free to, of course, give any feedback that you want into that team, and we will take it into consideration. So let's dump this off to Shady Mccoy and see if he can't do anything. He got absolutely lit up. But yeah, man. I did a video breaking down this roster and all of my fantasy rosters, but it's just to keep the conversation rolling for the live stream as well as we throw a touchdown to Chris Godwin. But we got Patty Mahomes starting at the quarterback position, which obviously is a must start because he is Patrick Mahomes, right? And then we've got Dalvin Cook at our RB1 position, so we feel very confident there. I think this Catch Fam roster is going to put up a ton of points. Miles Sanders is our RB2, though, which we feel not the most confident about overall, but still feel pretty good, right? And then we've got Tyreek Hill and Terry McLaurin and Brandon Ayuk in the flex. So 3 receivers that we feel confident in, especially with Brandon Ayuk having that tremendous matchup against the Detroit Lions. Then we got Robert Tonyan. The Broncos defense versus the Giants is an absolutely gnarly matchup, right? And then we've got Jason Sanders at the kicker position as well. So I feel good about the Catch Fam's starting lineup overall. But you guys can now see that I can score a touchdown in Madden, and I just wanted to put that out there, although we're playing a pretty poor team in the Broncos. And is that my guy, Jerry Jeudy? I think it is, right? Number 10? Yeah, Jerry Jeudy. 2 receptions, 31 yards. So yeah, man, I'm probably going to go ahead and cap off the night, and I will be doing another. Excuse me, I was texting actually our co-host Steven there. I will be doing a live stream tomorrow during some of the games, and I will probably start a little bit before 1 p.m. just to get any last-minute fantasy questions out of the way. But obviously I can't be streaming an NFL game on the screen. So I will probably just be playing some Madden and more than likely actually be playing Madden 22 tomorrow. And then on my TV next to me, I'll have the games going, some Red Zone going. And it'll just be kind of a chill atmosphere, talking about our fantasy matchups and how we're all doing and any fantasy Q&A that you guys have. And I'm looking forward to that and getting, into some NFL football tomorrow, man. I couldn't be more excited for that. Man, so the plan is, like I said, we're going to have the games going in the background. We're going to be talking about, how each respective team is doing. We're going to be talking about our fantasy rosters, how we're doing, and of course, any fantasy questions or concerns, even for the later games, the 4 o'clock games, the Sunday night game, the Monday night game, who you guys are thinking about starting, who you guys are concerned about starting, any fantasy Q&A that arises, and hopefully we can start over with a more respectable franchise tomorrow in Madden 22. But as always, I thank all you guys who joined the live stream tonight so much. This was a lot of fun, even if I got absolutely cooked in those first 3 games of Madden. We will redeem ourselves tomorrow and moving forward. Overall, I think in the Madden world, and we will obviously be playing Madden 22 tomorrow as well. So I'm excited to see how bad the game is and to see some of the glitches as well. But yeah, man, tomorrow we're going to be having, I've already gone over it, but I'm pretty excited. Really just a play-by-play, a call out of all the big games and any big fantasy news we're going to be tracking live as well, and just playing Madden and watching the game. So it's going to be a blast. Going to do a lot of fantasy Q&A. So with that being said, man, I thank everyone again who joined the stream tonight so very much. And shout out to the Catch fam, man. Shout out to all of our subscribers. Steve and I appreciate you guys to know, and more than you guys really realize, man. We've been having a blast with this channel, and yeah, man, just looking forward to the NFL season, and really can't cap off my excitement with anything other than throwing an interception to end this stream. So once again, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for watching this retrospectively. Go ahead and smash that like button, man. Even if it is retrospectively, still helps out the channel. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and become a member of the Catch fam. We are on the road to 200 subscribers here at the Catch, so we appreciate that love and support as well. And drop some comments down below cooking me on this awful Madden gameplay, in which I truly do need to redeem myself. So with that being said, remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And we are out. That was the most awkward outro I've ever done. But yeah, man, we're ending the stream. And like I said, thank you guys for watching and or listening. I just feel like I was in another world when I said, remember, you saw it here on the Catch. So yeah, that was not the most pleasing outro. So guys, we appreciate you. We are so excited for week 1 football. We are so excited for fantasy football. Cannot wait for the live stream tomorrow. And I will do better in Madden. I promise I am not this bad at Madden. So thank you guys. And